Have you ever just stopped and wondered, what makes you, well, you? Why you react to things in a certain way, a way that's maybe totally different from how your friends or even your family would. Well, today, we're going to dive right into that. We're exploring the super fascinating world of personality psychology to get some answers. I mean, this is really the big question, isn't it? We're all human, right? But the way we each experience the world is just so unique. It's kind of mind-boggling. So what's the deal? What's the secret behind all this amazing variety in how we think and feel and go about our lives? Okay, think about this for a second. You probably have that one friend, right? The one who's the life of the party, just totally buzzing off the energy of a crowd. But then you might have another friend whose idea of a perfect night is just curling up with a good book. It's the exact same world, but they're living in it in completely different ways. Why is that?
All right, so to figure this all out, here's what we're going to cover. First, we'll look at this big human puzzle. Then, we'll get into what personality really is. After that, a quick trip through how these ideas came about. And finally, we'll bring it all home to see how this stuff actually matters in your life.
Okay, section 1, the human puzzle. And this is all about why we even need a way to wrap our heads around all these differences. Because let's be real, we see these variations everywhere, right? At work, with our friends. To make sense of our world, and honestly, to make sense of ourselves, we need some kind of framework. We need a language for it. And that framework, that key, is what psychologists call personality. Yep, that's the big concept. It's the toolkit they use to unlock why we are the way we are. It gives us a real systematic way to look at all those unique things that make one person totally different from the next.
So, let's get down to it. What are we really talking about when we say personality? Because it's way more than just, being an introvert or an extrovert. It goes so much deeper than that. It's a really complex part of what makes us tick.
So here's the official definition psychologists use. Now, the two words you really want to latch onto here are enduring and across situations. This is super important. We're not talking about a bad mood you had on a Tuesday. We're talking about the consistent stuff, the patterns that make you recognizably you, no matter if you're at work, hanging out at home, or on a beach somewhere.
And here's the thing. Personality isn't just one simple trait. Nope. Think of it more like a recipe. It's this unique blend of a bunch of different core ingredients all mixed together. You've got a dash of openness, a cup of conscientiousness, a sprinkle of extroversion, and all these things combine to make the one-of-a-kind person that is you.
So let's break down those ingredients, shall we? First up, you've got your traits. These are the stable things, like how organized you are or how agreeable you tend to be. Then there are your behavioral patterns. This is the stuff people can actually see you do. We've also got emotions, which is all about your typical go-to feelings. And last but not least, your motivations. Those are like the hidden engines inside you, pushing you towards your goals.
Okay, but where did all this stuff even come from? I mean, these ideas didn't just pop out of nowhere. The mission to understand personality is an old one, a really old one. It's been a journey that's changed a ton over the centuries. So let's do a quick time travel trip and see where these big ideas originated. Way back, it all started with the ancient Greeks, who thought personality was all about bodily fluids. They called them humors. Kind of weird, right? Then let's fast forward a couple thousand years to the early 1900s. Boom! Sigmund Freud shows up and blows everyone's minds with his ideas about the unconscious. By the middle of the century, the focus shifted to things like human potential and those stable traits we talked about. And that brings us right up to today, where the Big Five is the model most people use, and we're digging into the really cool science of genetics and our brain. All right, history is cool and all, but so what? Why does any of this actually matter for you in your life right now? Well, because this stuff isn't just for textbooks. Understanding your personality has a huge, real-world impact on pretty much everything you do. Just think about it. Understanding your personality is literally the first step to self-awareness and growing as a person. It totally shapes your relationships. Why do you click with some people and not others? It can guide you to a career that you don't just tolerate, but actually love. And, of course, it's absolutely crucial for mental health and well-being. It's a game changer.
This quote right here really nails a super powerful point. Now, cognition is just a fancy word for your thought process, how you make sense of the world. So imagine two people get the exact same critical feedback at work. Person A might think, oh no, I'm a total failure. But person B might think, awesome, this is a chance for me to get better. See? Their thoughts are totally different, and that directly shapes how they act and who they become over time.
So if you take one thing away from all this, let it be this.
The whole idea of personality gives us a framework. It's like a map that helps us navigate the super complex world inside our own heads and also helps us understand the people around us a whole lot better. It takes this huge, confusing mystery of why people are so different and makes it something we can actually explore.
And that really leaves us with one last big question to chew on. We know our personality shapes our life, but how much can we shape our personality? How much control do you really have over the kind of person you are and the person you want to be? Something to think about. Thanks for joining me for this one.